Hi, I'm Sharon with maryndaysehouse, and I actually want to come on here today because a few days ago you may have noticed that I was advertising a new application called YGOIN. So YGOIN was actually started by my brother, Dr. Robert Days. We've been working diligently with this app, testing things out, and it's a new healthcare app that's none other. It's about healthcare. You could get advice from different professionals, but also you could just share your journey because we all get advice from everyone, whether they're professionals, whether they're credential or not. We get advice from our loved ones, our friends, our colleagues, but also professionals as well. So this app is grouping everybody together, and where you could come share your own personal journey and what you did to help you, and also you can get professional advice as well. So why I'm talking about that now is because it's just giving me an opportunity to reintroduce Mary and Day's House and why Mary and Day's House actually started for everyone, and tell you a little bit the story behind it, because it's been a while since I've shared that story. Now, if this is your first time hearing about Mary and Day's House, Mary and Day's House is a natural skincare line that was started back in July 2020. So yay, we're almost a year old. So I'm super proud of that. And COVID-19 was actually the catalyst for it. So actually the COVID-19 pandemic was the catalyst to share this natural skincare line to the masses. So actually, my mother and I, we have always been making natural skincare products and just natural products in general, that we share with our family, and then we started sharing with friends. And so we've been doing this for years. And like how I said, the COVID-19 pandemic was just the catalyst and the motivation just to share it with the masses. And so we're almost a year old with sharing it with everyone all over the U.S. So I am so pleased and happy for that. So actually, let me back it up a little bit and tell you a little history of why we started making our natural skincare products. So my family actually has genes to have psoriasis, eczema, and just dry skin in general. Especially my mom's side of the family, where my dad's side of the family had more oily skin, so they suffered more from acne and things like that. So for a long time, I've always known my mom being enthusiastic about herbals and holistic medicine in general. My family, we were big readers growing up, always studying. So my dad will always be studying something, my mom will always be studying something, and we always had the knack to just go ahead, try out different natural products and blend it together, especially for our skin, because it's just hard when you have something that is more of a genetic disorder like eczema or something like that, to get the help that you need from the medical community. Of course, they could do stuff to subside things, but it just causes greater side effects, such as thinning out the skin, or even whitening the skin, where you get white patches on your skin or something. So it was very harsh. I had a rash on my face when I was a toddler. I had rashes on my elbows, rashes inside my elbows, rashes behind my neck, behind my knees. I had all of those issues. And one thing, just being transparent, one thing that cleared it up immediately, it was chemotherapy. And chemotherapy, I had that when I had childhood leukemia. I had acute lymphoblastic leukemia. I was diagnosed at the age of 10. And I went through some years of chemo, and I finally got into remission. And I've been cancer free. I'm a cancer survivor since 1998. So, to God be the glory. And I tell you about that because it's just going to jump into the other part of my life. So I've been cancer-free. I'm a cancer survivor since 1998. But being that I had a blood cancer, I was more susceptible for autoimmune diseases, in which I suffer not only from pyoderma gangrenosum and hidradenitis suppurativa. Both are autoimmune or auto-inflammatory disorders that affect my skin severely. And so I'll be showing some pictures of, how my skin is affected, particularly my leg from the pyoderma gangrenosum. Both of my legs were severely affected by this, and I loved my legs. My legs were one of my strongest assets. And so that disease really ate away at my flesh and layers of skin tissue. So I have some disfigurations on my legs, and of course the scars. And it didn't only affect that, like the beauty of my legs, or just the skin on my legs. It also affected me with walking and things like that. So if you guys don't know, I am a nurse. Now I'm a doctorate prepared nurse. I just got my DNP in April, so I'm so super proud of that. But yes, so I have these autoimmune diseases that affect my skin severely, and it's disfiguring, it's disabling, and it just was a lot for me as a nurse and a mother to go through this, because both of those jobs are crazy busy. You're always on your feet and you're always on the go. And so I remember just going to my dermatologist, my immunologist, my rheumatologist, even my personal care provider, going to them and just trying to figure out answers. I remember going to the wound clinic, the pain clinic, all these different things, and it was just no answer. They told me, well, you need to stop working, and that was a no-go for me. It was no way I could stop working. My family relied on my income, so it was many of nights, because I worked night shift, where I was screaming and crying and yelling and just trying to get that gumption just to put on my scrubs. It was so painful getting those scrubs across my legs, and painful to put on my shoes. I remember getting written up many times for being late, and not because I was not there on campus, but I would walk so slowly or have to take so many stops to get to my destination. Even if I was even an hour early to work, it would take me a while just to be able to cross the street to get onto the hospital campus, and then not only that, walk across the campus to the front doors of the lobby and be able to get to the elevator, go down the hall, and clock in. So it was just so tough. It was just many painful days, and me being embarrassed to have to explain things like that, because I just thought no one would care. It's like, what, you have these issues. If you have these issues, then just stop working. That's how I viewed just society. It's like, no one wants to hear about your issues. If you have it, keep quiet. Everybody just wants people to be able to function and be beautiful, all these things. And so that was my view and my take on on my outside life. I felt like I was a burden or whatever, and I did get depressed about it. And so, yeah, so I'm telling you this because it's leading to the story of Maryndaysehouse. So my mom, she saw that I was becoming more and more depressed, and I was functionally depressed, because I'm like, okay, well, you can be depressed, girl, but yeah, your kids still have to eat. They cannot eat your depression. So I went ahead and I just continued on working, and I had multiple jobs, so I was just basically abusing myself and not giving myself time to heal. And all the while still seeing my doctors and got on different medications to lower my immune system and all these things. And having my immune system lower because it was overactive, it was not a good deal for me, because of course I'm a nurse dealing with all kinds of sick people, who needed my help. And so I could not refuse to take care of them, because they needed me. They needed me to be there for them. So I would in turn get so sick. And so it was like December 2019, I was really, really sick. I didn't know what was going on. I was really sick. It was a lot of respiratory issues that I was having. But not only that, respiratory issues, I was having joint issues. And plus that, me being sick and being so hard on my body, of course, both of my autoimmune disease were flared up at an all-time high, where I was, going in and out of a wheelchair, barely could move, barely could get up. And, but I was still taking my immunosuppressant drug, an injection that I injected myself once a week. And I really wasn't getting results that I wanted from it as far as my skin and healing. I stopped going to the wound care clinic because what I found out about the pyoderma gangrenosum and the hidradenitis suppurativa, the more you dig and the more you try to clean those areas away, the bigger it spread. It took over more areas. So I stopped going there. I stopped going to the pain clinic because, yes, I was in extreme pain, but the medicine that they were giving me was causing me to be very groggy. I couldn't function. So I was like, I choose pain rather than to sleep, because my kids need me to be alert. My patients need me to be alert. So I chose, not to take those medications any longer. And so I was taking an NSAID, which is a non-steroidal medication, so something like ibuprofen or something like that. I was taking lots and lots of those, so much so that I gave myself an ulcer. I was bleeding a lot. So I was just going through it with the pain, with the disfiguring, the disability, everything as such. So, and it was just making me depressed because I was hardly sleeping because I was in so much pain and I was working so much. And then, so it was just a lot. So my mom, what she said was like, hey, Michelle, I see that you're in so much pain, and I've been reading up on your disease. I was reading up on things that could help you. And so she started talking about Castile soap. And I was like, okay, yeah, I don't have time for that. So I was telling her I didn't have time for it, but she kept on bringing it up. Every day she'll bring up this Castile soap. So actually I went out and bought some Castile soap from my local grocery store. Castile soap that you guys probably know about. I brought the liquid Castile soap, and so I tried to use it and spilled half of the bottle because it was so liquidy, and I didn't know that. And then I was like, well, this doesn't really touch up that well, I don't know. And so I started using it, and actually I started seeing some results with my legs, but the soap, I just didn't like that. It was just so liquidy, and so I was like, well, let me see more about it. She said, well, Michelle, if you don't like it, we could always just make it. So and we always made our own products for a long time, but we kind of dropped off the bandwagon because life happens. And so we started reading more on Castile soap and the healing properties of it. And then we started opening up her books and researching more about what, not only to put in our Castile soap, but which ingredients kind of help each other to help healing. So we started reading more about that, and lo and behold, we made our first batch of Castile soap, which we started using on the kid's skin. Now, my youngest son, he suffers from eczema, and his eczema, it just went to be so much better. It wasn't as inflamed, it wasn't angry, and it did take a while. It took a while for us to see it go away completely as far as not having any skin issues, but it worked. It worked without using the creams from the dermatologist, which was great for us because the creams definitely thins out your skin and kind of leaves like white patches on your skin. And so we were able to use something more natural and less abrasive. So that was just so good. So we were mainly using the Castile soap, and then we started making our own butters and balms and lotion, because we know a lot about skin, because we have skin issues ourselves. So we knew, like, hey, we need something moisturizing to put on first, and then like a balm or something to seal it in. So that's how I've been practicing my skincare all of my life, because I know that those things actually work, and those things, those are like the tricks and trades we got from our dermatologist. So those always worked, because our skin is extremely dry, so we wanted to always seal in that moisture. From our skin, or people who suffer from eczema, psoriasis, you know for sure you have to put on a moisturizer first, and then you seal it in with a balm. Before, when we were using over-the-counter products, we would put something on, like your lotion or something, like a nice thick lotion, and then you'll seal it in with your Vaseline or something like that, like a petroleum jelly or something. And then Aquaphor came out, and we started sealing it in with that. But then, of course, those things were heavy and greasy and everything else. So we decided to start, making our own things as well, our own lotions and our own balms and butters and things like that. And so it just really helped. It really helped that we were using natural products. We saw lots and lots of results. And I'm going to say that we didn't see results quickly, but the more we used it, and the more diligent we were in using our own products that we were making right here in the kitchen, we not only saw results, but it was lasting results. And the skin is better. It's just like, okay, I'm not just going to put it on, and if I miss, a day, I'm going to be, flaky and inflamed again. No, the results, it stayed with you. And so that was something I was like, wow, it's not like that with, the over-the-counter products. And so what I saw the difference is not only the quality of ingredients that we were using, but actually the amount too. So when you go to your local grocery store or your local drugstore and you're buying these lotions or butters or balms or whatever you're buying for your skin to moisturize or hydrate your skin, or even to cleanse your skin, a lot of times they are using the products that say they use, like shea butter or cocoa butter. They're using them, but it's just such a minuscule amount that you're really not getting any of the product. You're getting more of whatever chemical they're using, or even if they are a natural product, you're getting such a small amount of it because they're making it in big batches. So you're not getting as much. So I saw that being that we were making it in smaller batches, we were getting more of the good stuff. And so that's when we were like, wait a minute, we're just gonna use more of our products, that's it. And so fast forward to 2020, my skin was just doing so good. Not saying that I never got inflamed again, because my autoimmune disease is flared up by different things, like different things that I would eat or something like that. So I would still get flares, but I would use the Mary and Day's House products at the time it didn't have any name, it was just our products. I would use our products, and I know that my skin was going to heal. It was going to heal, you know, it went through a process, but I knew it was going to heal. It wasn't going to take, you know, forever for it to heal, because for my pyoderma gangrenosum to heal and my hidradenitis suppurativa, it would normally take like a year or 2 years to not have any weeping wounds. But by this time, using our products, it would take about 3 months. So it would take about that long to heal, which was good for me because I knew that, hey, well, it's going to heal and my skin will be a whole lot smoother with it, so it wouldn't be so disfiguring. I could feel confident in wearing shorts or wearing short sleeve shirts or something like that. And so my mom was like, well, you know what, we should just go ahead and let other people know about it. And if you do not know me, I am very much an introvert. Some people who really know me or are close enough to me would beg to differ. They think I'm an extrovert, I'm outgoing. Oh, no, I'm not. So talking and being around people, it takes a lot of my energy. I love to be quiet. I like to meditate. I like to spend time with Jesus, and pretty much be by myself. So quarantine, that's where it was for me. I was very happy. But yeah, so my mom was like, hey, why don't you just share these experiences with people and let them know about it. And I was a little hesitant with doing that, but my brother at the time was working on the YGOIN app. And so he was telling me more about it. And he said, hey, Michelle, you know, this is the vision that I see for this app, blase, blase, blase. And he was like, why don't you try it out and just put your journey on it? So the YGOIN app was actually the first time I really told people about my skin conditions, because I was super embarrassed about it. I didn't want anybody to know, because these things like come in the most embarrassing places, like underneath your arms, in your groin area, on your butt, in between your butt, like things like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna tell anybody about this or whatever. So, but he was like, it's safe, it's full of professionals. And so I was like, okay, whatever. I'm gonna go ahead, step out on a limb. I mean, my brother, he's my older brother, he's never steered me wrong. So let me go ahead and just try it out. So I tried it out. I took some pictures of my legs, and I took some after pictures too. Well, I didn't take them, I just posted them because I always kept up with it myself. So I would always take pictures of when the start of a flare happened and when it started happening, and then the process of how it would ulcerate, and then the healing process. So I would always take pictures and steps with that, because it motivated me and it gave me the encouragement to just even clean my wound and put on the Mary and Day's House products. I'm like, okay, well, this looks a little better than yesterday, because I had pictures of the bandages, and I know it sounds gross, the weeping stuff. If you guys follow me on YouTube, you'll see some of my journey when I got confident after sharing it on YGOIN. But I started sharing that on YGOIN, and so I got great responses, because it was just such a small community at the time. And so I was like, well, why not put it on YouTube? So I did put it on YouTube, and I was super uber embarrassed about it. But I was like, you know what? Other people are going through this. I'm a part of hidradenitis suppurativa community and the pyoderma gangrenosum community. So I was like, I know other people are suffering from this. And people may be suffering in silence about it because they don't see a brown girl with this. And, you know, in our Black community, a lot of times when we see things like that, we'll be like, oh, that person isn't washing, or they may have a disease or STD or something like that. So we think a lot of different things that may shun people from sharing. and other people are really having these issues. So I was like, whatever, I'm putting it on YouTube. And then I started being more confident with that. And so that's when Mary and Day's House came out. We said, hey, we're going to name it Mary and Day's House, because we wanted to put my great-grandmother name with it, but also the Marys in the Bibles. The Marys in the Bible were very strong women, so we had a lot of different Marys in the Bible that we wanted to incorporate Mary in it. And Days is from my dad's line, so I definitely wanted to incorporate my dad's line in it, and then house, meaning that this is a place of refuge that you'll be able to come to and get rest with your condition, to feel like you belong, things like that. So we started out with posting the soap of the day in August. July was just, hey, we're this company, this is what we do. We have natural skincare products, and so in August we started posting the soap of the day, and I became increasingly confident about talking about my autoimmune disorders, autoinflammatory disorders, and that's how Mary and Day's House came to be. And here we are, almost a year old, still helping people. You guys have been very, very supportive. I really appreciate that. My friends and family were very supportive, and of course the hidradenitis suppurativa and pyoderma gangrenosum community have been very supportive, and just everybody else. I don't know you all, and when I was able to start selling to strangers who are now customers, who are now people who I've seen and talked to over WhatsApp or over Facebook or Instagram, you know, I'm seeing lots of skin. I really appreciate that. Even if you don't buy a product after the consultation, it's not so much about selling a product, or even it's not so much about, you know, me. It's about you, and you feeling comfortable and knowing that you have someone to talk to and who want to see your skin and want to see your progress, whether you're using a Mary and Day's House natural skincare product or not. Of course, we want you to buy Mary and Day's House natural skincare products, that's for sure, but we want you to feel comfortable. We want you to feel beautiful. We want you to heal and not be disabled. I'm sorry, I have my son in the background who just needed to come in here right now. But we have, but we want you to be able to share your journey as well. I want to see your journey. I want more people to come out and talk about their journey. So like I said, this is a long video, the longest I feel like I've ever done. But I really felt like this needed to be shared and reiterated, because not just one time, not just two times, but over and over again, so people can know that, hey, there are people out here like me, or there are people out here that, you know, have, you know, solutions, and they have things that work for them. Now, am I telling you not to see a professional? That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying that you can definitely take, you know, advice. You could definitely follow steps from, you know, other people and hear what they did to make it work for them. We're in this together. We're here to help each other out. You know, before there were just professionals, there was a community of people who knew, like, hey, well, yeah, that lady down the street, oh yeah, if you have a toothache, she knows what to do. And or that man down the street, oh, if you have you know, a skin issue, he knows what to do. So that's how it started out, before we got these different titles. Like, people have issues themselves, they'll use something through trial and error and found that, hey, wow, this worked, and started sharing it with the masses. And so that's what I want to do. I want to share my journey. I want to share what worked for me, what worked for my mother, and hopefully you got something from this video. You could definitely follow Mary and Day's House on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, Etsy. We have a podcast on Podbean, so you actually have to download that application, and we're Mary and Day's House on that as well. And of course, we're on YGOIN, and that's under my name, and you can follow the Mary and Day's House journey. So my name on YGOIN is Sharon Avenot, and that's Sharon, Sharon, and Avenot, Avenot. So yes, follow us on those different platforms, and it's Mary and Day's House. It's Maryndaysehouse. So you can. I'm sorry about that. So I just lost you guys. I have many kids, not many, but I have 3 kids, 3 boys, but I digress. So yeah, to follow us on the different platforms, like I said, it's Mary and Day's House on Instagram, Facebook, Etsy, Podbean Podcast. Definitely follow us on those platforms. And you guys could see the pictures of my journey. I'm going to post it here. And leave a comment. Let me know how we're doing. If you bought a Mary and Day's House product, let me know how you feel about it. We love the feedback, whether it's positive, negative. Hey, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. The feedback is great. It's important to us. You're important to us. So anyway, I'm gonna leave you with this. May your cup overflow with blessings and your skin be blemish free. Bye for now.